Let's go ahead and talk about the October 17th, 2025 episode of Friday Night SmackDown. Let's go ahead and talk about it. Now, they were live in San Jose, California tonight, and we kick off the show with the undisputed WWE Champion, Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes comes out there and he starts talking about Seth Rollins and everything that happened at Crown Jewel, and he says that Seth Rollins did pick up a victory over him, but then he says that Seth Rollins got a lot of stuff to deal with now after Division attacked him on Raw. So yeah, that's what he was talking about there, but then he was talking about how that is Seth Rollins' business and that's not his business at all, but his business got to do with the number one contenders match tonight, and he said that tonight it will be Drew McIntyre versus Jacob Fatu one-on-one. Winner of that match will be facing Cody Rhodes at Saturday night's main event for the undisputed WWE Championship. So yeah, that's what Cody Rhodes was saying there. That he got his eyes set on that match later on tonight to see who he'll be facing at Saturday night's main event for the title. So yeah, that's what Cody Rhodes said. But then after that, we see Solo Sikoa, JC Mateo, Tamatonga, Tangaloa, and Talatonga, the MFTs. They're walking around backstage and they spot Rey Fenix taking pictures and everything, and then Solo goes up to him and he tells him that he can leave because he's going to get his pictures taken now. And then Rey Fenix talking about, no, what's your problem and all that stuff. And Solo was like, oh, what problem? And then all of a sudden we see the MFTs attacking Rey Fenix, throwing him into the crates and everything, laying them out. So yeah, the MFTs lays out Rey Fenix tonight on SmackDown. But yeah, that's what happened there. And up next will be the first match of the night. It will be the WWE Women's Tag Team Champions Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss versus Sol Ruca and Zarya in a tag team match for the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships up next on Friday Night SmackDown. So yeah, that match will be up next on SmackDown. So yeah, I'll see you guys later. Till then. So the next thing that happened on Friday Night SmackDown, we get to the next match of the night. It was the first match of the night, actually. It was the WWE Women's Tag Team Champions, Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss versus Zarya and the NXT Women's North America Champion and the Women's Speed Champion Sol Ruca in a tag team match for the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships. We get to this match. Blake Monroe was watching this match in the crowd, and yeah, we get to this match, and this match, it was a really good one. It was back and forth and everything between these two teams right here. At the ending, we see Sol Ruca hitting the Soul Snatcher onto Charlotte. She pinned her 1, 2. Alexa Bliss breaks at the pin at the count of 2. We see Zarya getting involved. Bliss knocks her off the ring apron, and then she tries to hit a Hurricanrana onto Zarya, but then Zarya catches her and then throws her into the barricade, laying out Alexa Bliss, and then that's when Charlotte Flair got out of the ring, hitting a big boot onto Zarya, taking her out, and then we see Sol Ruca jumping off the top turnbuckle, second turnbuckle, with a moonsault onto Charlotte Flair, laying her out, and then Sol Ruca spots Blake Monroe, because she got a match against Blake Monroe next Saturday at Halloween Havoc. And yeah, Blake Monroe was distracting her and everything, and while Sol Ruca was distracted, that's when we see Charlotte coming up, hitting a chop block to the back of the leg onto Sol Ruca. She throws her back into the ring, and then she locks on the figure 8, making her tap out. So yeah, Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss defeated Sol Ruca and Zarya tonight in a tag team match to retain the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships. That's what happened there, and then after the match ended and everything, we see Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss showing some respect to Zarya and Sol Ruca. So yeah, that's what happened there. Pretty good match though. For that match, I'll give it 3 stars. That's why I'll give it a pretty good one between those two teams. But yeah, then after that, we see the undisputed WWE Champion, Cody Rhodes, walking around backstage. Jacob Fatu comes up, and Jacob Fatu was saying that he's going to get the WWE Championship after he defeats Drew McIntyre tonight and become number one contender. And he says that you'll see him there. So yeah, that's what happened there. Pretty decent backstage segment there. But up next, we're going to be hearing from Aleister Black and Zelina Vega up next on SmackDown. So yeah, I'll see you guys later. Till then. So the next thing that happened on Friday Night SmackDown, there was a lot of stuff that just happened. But before we're talking about the main thing, the main match, we got to talk about a couple of segments before that. So yeah, we see a promo package of Aleister Black and Zelina Vega was talking about how it was a long time in the making, that they was going to get together and how this was going to be a plan and everything. How Aleister was going to be working with his wife and all that stuff, doing things like taking down Damian Priest and stuff. So yeah, that's what he was talking about there. And then after that, we see the SmackDown General Manager, Adam Pearce, Nick Aldis, he was talking to The Miz backstage, and yeah, Miz was talking about a lot of stuff, talking about Carmelo Hayes and everything, but then we see the United States Champion, Sami Zayn, come walking up in there, and Sami Zayn was talking about how he wanted to do the U.S. Open Challenge tonight, but he's not on SmackDown tonight for some reason, and Nick Aldis tells him that, that the MFTs has been running around and all that stuff, and that's why he's not on the show. And he says that he wants to give Shinsuke Nakamura a fair shot for the title, but he's not there tonight because he's in Japan. So yeah, that's what Nick Aldis tells Sami Zayn. And Sami Zayn was talking about how he's not scared of anybody, how he's not scared of the MFTs, and how he's still going to go out there and deliver his U.S. Open Challenge. And he walks away, and then The Miz comes walking back up to Nick Aldis, and Nick Aldis is like, why are you still here? And Miz is like, oh, nothing. And then he walks off. Well, then after that, we see the United States Champion, Sami Zayn. He makes out there to the ring, and he's ready to do the U.S. Open Challenge. And then all of a sudden, The Miz comes out, and it looks like it's going to be The Miz versus Sami Zayn for the championship. But then Carmelo Hayes comes up from behind, attacking Miz after Miz was cutting a promo because Miz was talking about how stupid the U.S. Open Challenge is and all that stuff. But then Melo comes up attacking him from behind. He's beating the hell out of him. Security and stuff is trying to break them apart, and they go backstage brawling. And then it looks like Sami Zayn doesn't got somebody to challenge him in the U.S. Open Challenge. But then all of a sudden, Ilja Dragunov answers the challenge, and he makes his return tonight. He comes out there. He's bigger than last time, it seems like. And not only that, he has like a whole neck tattoo now. And yeah, he answers the Open Challenge. So yeah, it was Sami Zayn versus Ilja Dragunov for the United States Championship. In this match, it was a really great match. The intensity from Ilja Dragunov is always insane. Both of these guys was beating the hell out of each other, back and forth and everything. A bunch of crazy spots. Like at one point, I thought Ilja was about to get injured again because Sammy usually does like the brain buster on the ring apron, and Ilja got caught up on the second rope, like hitting his shoulder on the way down. So that looked pretty brutal. It was back and forth, like I said, coming up near falls a lot of times in this match. At one point, Ilja comes running up at Sammy. Sammy hits a hula kick onto Ilja, like in midair, pretty much running at him. And then Sammy hits the Blue Thunder Bomb onto Ilja. He pins him 1, 2. Ilja barely kicks out at 2. Sammy can't believe it, and Sammy starts heading up for the hula kick in the corner. And then all of a sudden, Sammy turns around. He sees Solo Sikoa standing on the entranceway. And Solo looks at him, and he's smiling. He walks away, and then Sammy turns back around. Ilja comes running up at him, but Sammy catches him, hitting the Exploder Suplex onto him in the corner, and then he's setting up for the hula kick once again, but then Ilja counters the hula kick into the Torpedo Moscow onto Sammy, and then he hits the H-Bomb, pinning Sammy for the 1, 2, 3. So yeah, Ilja Dragunov defeated Sami Zayn tonight in his return, and he becomes the new United States Champion. That's what happened there. Really great match, though. That match, I'll give it 5 stars. That's why I'll give it. It was a really great match. That was like Sami Zayn's best U.S. Open Challenge match right there, in my opinion, and that match was really good. And then it looked like Sammy was about to congratulate Ilja, it seems like, but then all of a sudden he got attacked by Tongaloa, Tamatonga, Talatonga, and JC Mateo, the MFTs. They started beating them down, and they lay out Sami Zayn and Ilja Dragunov. So Sikoa was in there as well, attacking them. And then all of a sudden we see Ray Phoenix coming out there trying to make the save. And he was doing pretty decently, but then he got caught up by Talatonga. He got hit with a chokeslam, getting laid out as well. And then that's when Solo grabs the mic and he starts talking. He was talking about how his MFTs are going to become champions once again. The lights go out, and then all of a sudden we see Uncle Howdy, or Bo Dallas, pretty much talking on the big screen. And Bo Dallas was talking about how they got to be careful when they open up the other door because they don't know what's going to be on the other side. And then all of a sudden the lights comes back on, and we see Eric Rowan, Joe Gacy, Dexter Lumis, and Nikki Cross, the Wyatt Six, standing on the ring apron. Uncle Howdy's not with them. They get into the ring, and it looks like it's about to be a brawl, but then Solo Sikoa quickly got the MFTs out the ring. So yeah, that's what happened there. Crazy stuff on SmackDown. But yeah, pretty good stuff right there. And yeah, Ilja Dragunov, he makes his return tonight, becoming the United States Champion, and a bunch of crazy stuff. So yeah, like I said, I'll give that whole match 5 stars. That's why I'll give it. It was a really great match. But yeah, still a lot more stuff to come later on tonight. Drew McIntyre versus Jacob Fatu in a No More Contenders match later on tonight, and much more. So yeah, I'll see you guys later. Till then. So the next thing to happen on Friday Night SmackDown, we get to the next match of the night. It becomes a tag team match on SmackDown, but the way how this match got set up was that we see Chris Sabin and Alex Shelley, the Motor City Machine Guns, pretty much talking and everything, doing like an interview thing, and it was talking about how it is their 1 year anniversary and all that stuff of being in the WWE and how they want to celebrate that, because then 2 weeks later, after they came into the WWE, they became the WWE Tag Team Champions. So yeah, that's what the Motor City Machine Guns was talking about there, but then they got interrupted by Angel Umberto, Los Garza, and Los Garza was disrespecting the Motor City Machine Guns, and the Motor City Machine Guns was talking about how they was the ones that defeated Los Garza in their in-ring debut on SmackDown, how they want to have a match against them again, defeat them again. So yeah, that's what they said there, and that's how this match came all about. So yeah, it was the Motor City Machine Guns versus Los Garza in a tag team match. In this match, it was pretty good. Los Garza was trying to do everything that they could do to try to pick up the win, but at the ending, we see Berto get thrown out of the ring, and the Angel getting hit with Skull and Bones by Motor City Machine Guns, getting pinned for the 3 count. So yeah, the Motor City Machine Guns defeated Los Garza tonight in a tag team match. That's what happened there. Pretty good tag team match for that match. I'll give it 2 stars. That's why I'll give it. Pretty good one there. And then after the match ended, we see Nathan Frazier and Axiom. Fraxiom watching this backstage. Fraxiom was watching that match backstage, and Nathan Frazier and them was talking about how, you know, how they should make a statement and all that stuff. And Axiom was like, no, we're going to be watching this out. So yeah, that's what happened there. And then all of a sudden we see Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano with Candice LeRae coming up DIY, and they was talking about how they've been gone for like the last 2 months, so the Street Profits came blame them like they do, but then they said that they pretty much choked at the opportunity. So yeah, that's what they was talking about there, and then they started disrespecting Fraxiom, talking about the mask and everything that Axiom was wearing, and the Axiom pretty much challenges them into a match. So yeah, it seems like they'll possibly have a match next week. And yeah, I forgot to mention that Tiffany Stratton did get interviewed backstage as well by Kathy Kelly, and she was talking about the match that she had against Stephanie Vaquer on Crown Jewel, and she was talking about how, you know, Stephanie was the better woman and all that stuff in that match, and then Kiana James interrupts her, and pretty much setting up a match between those 2 women next week on SmackDown. Forgot to mention that happened earlier tonight. But then after that, we see Jacob Fatu's theme song playing, and it looks like he's about to make his entrance, but then they go backstage, and we see Jacob Fatu laid out. He's spitting up blood with his teeth, with some teeth on the ground and stuff, and he got like this thing on his back and all that stuff that collapsed on him, so it looks like he got attacked backstage, and yeah, it looks like he probably won't be competing tonight in that number 1 contenders match. But yeah, we're going to see what happens next on SmackDown. So yeah, I'll see you guys later. Till then. So the next thing to happen on Friday Night SmackDown, we get to the main event. It was supposed to be Drew McIntyre versus Jacob Fatu in a number 1 contenders match, but that match is not happening because Jacob Fatu got attacked backstage. And Drew McIntyre pretty much, he grabbed the mic and everything, and he starts talking. He was telling the referee to raise his hand and everything because he says that Jacob Fatu can't compete, so he needs to go ahead and become the number 1 contender for the undisputed WWE Championship. So yeah, that's what Drew McIntyre was saying there. But then he gets interrupted by the SmackDown General Manager, Nick Aldis, and Nick Aldis is saying, he swears to God, if Drew McIntyre's involved in any of this stuff, and then McIntyre was like, let me cut you off, I'm not involved in any of this at all. So yeah, that's what Drew was saying there. He says that all he wants to do is go after the WWE Championship, but he's not involved in what happened to Jacob Fatu. And then all of a sudden, Cody Rhodes comes out there, and Cody Rhodes is talking about how he's sick of this, and how he's sick of Drew McIntyre and everything, and how he wants a match against Drew McIntyre now. So yeah, that's what he was saying there, because Drew McIntyre pretty much ended off a match that is not going to be happening between him and Jacob Fatu tonight in front of the crowd. So yeah, that's what Cody Rhodes is all upset about. And yeah, we get the match underway. Cody Rhodes versus Drew McIntyre 1-on-1. I don't know if it was for the title or not. It was pretty decent for the most part. Both guys beating the hell out of each other. Drew almost picking up the win after he hits that Future Shock DDT on Cody. Cody kicked out at 2 after that. Cody was fighting back and everything, but then we start getting towards the ending of this match where we see Drew throwing Cody over the barricade. And by the way, Cody was like all dressed up in his dress suit and everything. So yeah, he was dressed up the whole time in this match. And Cody got thrown over the barricade. He grabs the WWE Championship, hitting Drew upside the head. So it causes a disqualification. So yeah, Drew McIntyre defeated Cody Rhodes by disqualification. But then Cody starts beating the hell out of Drew. Drew was trying to fight back, but then Cody's still laying it in on the Drew, beating him down. He clears off the announce table. He puts Drew up there on the announce table, and it looks like he's about to hit crossroads on a Drew through the announce table, but then security and Nick Aldis comes up, pulling Cody away from Drew. They pull him apart. Drew's over at ringside now with security and stuff holding him back, and then we see Cody quickly getting into the ring. He climbs up the top turnbuckle, and he jumps off with a crossbody on a Drew and a bunch of security, laying them out, and then he gets into the ring wanting to fight some more, and then SmackDown goes off the air. So yeah, that's what happened there. That was the end of SmackDown. For that match, I'll give it 2.5 stars as well. It was pretty decent for the most part. But yeah, tonight's SmackDown, it was a really good show. I really enjoyed it. It was really good stuff. For the whole show, I'll give it 9 stars. That's why I'll give it. It was a really great show. Match of the night was definitely Sami Zayn versus Ilja Dragunov. That match was really great. I would say that was match of the night. But yeah, that's been my Friday Night SmackDown, October 17th, 2025 reviews. Like, subscribe to Team W Wrestling on YouTube, subscribe to my other channel, Word of Chris, and subscribe to this channel, Chris McDaniels, and follow me on all my social media accounts. It'll be down there in the description box, and I'll see you guys later for tomorrow night's AEW Wrestle Dream reviews. See you guys later. Till then.